Mark Bishop Show. Truly like a box of chocolates. You never know who you're going to meet. From business, lifestyle, and fun. Here's Mark.
And welcome, everybody, to another show. Well, you know, Aaron's in the news at the moment. That's a big one, but it's the start of the season. Are your home and finances prepared for a hurricane? Well, you've got to learn how to limit potential damage and be financially prepared before disaster strikes. So this episode, I'm fortunate to have Dr. Ian Giammanco and Michael Richmond-Crum. Dr. Ian is the lead research meteorologist, Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, and Michael Richmond-Crum is the Senior Director of Personal Lines and Counsel for American Property Casualty Insurance Association. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay, well, we're entering the most active part of the hurricane season, which typically begins to peak about, between mid-August and mid-October. Needless to say that now is the time to strengthen people's properties, right? To limit potential damage and check your insurance coverage, folks, to make sure you're financially prepared if a storm damages your property. I think you'd both agree with me on that.
Yeah, now is that time. If you've put up some of those steps, when hurricane season started in June. It's been a little bit of slow start, but we've obviously had Aaron, our first hurricane, first major, and it looks like we're about to enter a pretty active sort of peak of the season here. And so now's that time to start taking some of those steps that maybe you overlooked around your home. And we'll kind of start with a couple of things that you can do right off the bat. We always say the first step's the best one. First one, take your cell phone out. You can do this either with pictures or video. Walk around your home. Make sure you document things like your valuables, but also your appliances, your electronics, things like that. Having that nice documentation that's stored where you can get at it readily through cloud storage, things like that, can make the process, if you have to file a claim and you have damage from one of these storms, a little bit more smooth. You have all that nice and buttoned up and well documented. Then we can head to the outside of the home, things to start strengthening your home. These are some little things that can have some big impacts. Perhaps the top of the heap is looking at trees and tree limbs that may overhang your roof. Trees get damaged in winds that might not have ordinarily damaged our homes. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. So get those limbs trimmed back that may overhang your roof, because if they do come down, that can damage your roof, and that means water's coming in. That can really exacerbate some of the damage that you see.
I want to mention this site. I think it's important that the listeners keep this in mind. HTTPS www.ibhs.org/hurricane ready. All right, at ibhs.org/hurricane ready. There's a lot of stuff, info on there, a lot of the stuff the guys are talking about, and also a lot more. So get prepared, have a look at that, and it's very, very important. And of course, all these things outside, loose items you talk about as well, guys, in the yard, and seal cracks around the windows and doors, all sorts of things that can be done. Let me ask you, is all this stuff on the site?
Yeah, that site has about as much information from everything from those little things we just started talking about, all the way to big things like, say you need a new roof or you're ready to replace a garage door. You can find it all. And it's a great set of tips. And Michael and I, we kind of do this every hurricane season. We talk about taking that first step is the best one. Whatever it actually is that you decide you want to go do, that often leads you to another and another. And the next thing you know, you've got your home really well prepared for the next storm.
Yeah, and that includes garage doors. I mean, there's a million things, but it seems like you've almost got to be fortified. I mean, I'm a great believer of dome homes, but I never see them anywhere, you know? You guys would insure those, wouldn't you?
We've seen the differences in shape of a home can make a difference, but you also don't have to have something that doesn't. We can do a lot with just our normal construction practices. And we've talked about strengthening a roof, garage door. I'll send it over to Michael to talk about sort of the insurance side. But yeah, there's all sorts of things you can do. And that's our ibhs.org site's a great place to go look for all that information.
Yeah. And I can just say, domed properties are definitely insurable. Standard homeowners insurance policies don't really, necessarily take into consideration the particular shape of the home. Mm-hmm. Rather, what risk profile the property has. And, dome roofs are an effective way of mitigating wind and rain loss.
Well, this is predicted to be an active hurricane season. You talk about steps that property owners can take to make their home stronger and prevent potential storm damage. It's pretty sad. I mean, the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety research, they're always looking at ways to strengthen buildings, as you say, from severe weather and wildfire. It's a non-profit. It provides property owners with science-backed guidance to prepare buildings to better withstand a severe weather event and helps inform future building codes to make our homes and businesses stronger. So they do a lot of good work, but I've got to pull it off here, guys. But at the end of the day, what's the biggest message you want to get across?
I think, it's for folks to take a look at whatever that first step may be and to be weather aware. We all have to deal with some weather impact across the country, whether it's a hurricane or severe thunderstorm, even wildfire events. And there are things we can do to strengthen our homes, whether you're building new or you have an existing home. I want people to understand that we are not powerless to do something about these events, that we have sets of solutions that are proven to work. And really, as I mentioned, that first step towards it is the best one to take. Just get going, and you'll be amazed to find yourself down the road to resilience and making your home stronger.
And the other site, too, by the way, folks, is www.apci.org/hurricane. That's the other important site. So you have two of them, the ibhs.org/hurricane ready and the apci.org, all right, /hurricane. Well, let's hope people take heed to your advice, guys. Thank you, Dr. Ian Giammanco and Michael Richmond-Crum on this particular episode. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Join us again for another episode of The Mark Bishop Show. It's a production of Mark Bishop Media.